So scientists are always right. They are never wrong. We should always believe everything our scientists tell us. Or should we? The biggest problem with science today is that a lot of it is based on statistics. Now, statistics is a mathematical method for determining large quantities based on small samples. So, if you're trying to determine how many people are affected by a certain disease, you take a small group, then you determine from that small group how many people got affected by the disease, and then you can extrapolate from there how the entire population would be affected. There are three problems with statistics. One is they weren't looking at the whole picture. The second problem is the inputs. The third problem with statistics is they can be manipulated. So the problem with statistics is it's only as good as the numbers you put into it. So if you don't put all those factors in, you don't get the right result. And then your answer is false. So let's take, for example, the artillery. So in the military, they have what's called an artillery piece. And these artillery pieces shoot rounds downrange and hit the targets, okay? So let's say in practice, you go into practice and you hit the target 99% of the time. Then you take all these same battalions into a war-type situation and you're only hitting the target 50% of the time. It doesn't make any sense. The statistics said you hit your target 99%. How come when you actually went into combat, you only hit the target 50% of the time? The reason? You didn't put all your inputs in. So you didn't factor in the fog of war. You didn't factor in the stress. You didn't factor in communication breakdowns. You didn't factor all these things in, which would happen at the time of war, which is when you need to know how the statistics work. That is the problem, not putting all the inputs in and getting the wrong result. The other problem with statistics is they weren't looking at the whole picture. So let me give you an example of how this can go wrong. Let's say you're an automotive company and you manufacture automobiles. You look across all the automobiles you make, and car A has done particularly well. Sales have increased 50% over the last year. So you tell all your people in all the divisions, we're going to make way more of these cars, car A, that is selling at 50% better. So they make way more car A and none of them sell and the company goes bankrupt. Why? Their statistics were right. It was based on science. Why didn't it work? It's because they only sold 2 cars the second year and 1 car the first year. So they had a 50% increase, but still nobody was buying the car. Over here they were selling 300,000 cars. The next year they sold 300,050 cars. They had a much less increase, so they didn't spend the money on the car they were selling a ton of and spent a ton of money on the cars nobody bought because they got the statistics wrong. They weren't looking at the whole picture and getting the wrong result. The problem with statistics is they can be manipulated. A good example would be in the United States, colleges and universities are given grants to pursue certain areas of study. And in order to get those grants, you have to show promise in that area of study. So what will happen is, because there are so many different inputs, they put in the inputs that are favorable, they take out the inputs that are not favorable, and they come out with the result that they want because they need that to get the grant. And that is the third problem with science. It can be manipulated. So now that you know all the problems with statistics, when somebody tells you you have to believe a scientist because they are basing everything on science, do you think you should believe them? or should you take it with a grain